Councillor John Sheehan to address you.
Good morning, everybody. Elected members, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished visitors. As Cathaoirleach of Limerick County Council, I want to begin by warmly welcoming you all to Limerick. I am particularly delighted to welcome delegates who have travelled from various parts of Ireland and throughout Europe to attend today. In fact, I know a number of speakers lined up to address today's seminar will be speaking about the experiences of local authorities in Ireland in relation to energy efficiency and the subject of financing. I am happy to say that the actions that have been undertaken by the Council in the area of energy efficiency are in keeping with the support the objectives of the STEP project, which today's seminar forms part of. The public sector continues to face challenges in implementing local and regional policies to meet the EU targets for energy.
And about Motiva, we are a state-owned company, fully state-owned company, one of the smallest, I think even smaller is Santa Claus Land, so we are competing with Santa Claus. And we are an expert company promoting efficient and sustainable use of materials. Materials efficiency has been part of our work for a few years now, and it's increasing the importance of that. And we are about 70 people working at Motiva, and we have a subsidiary company, Motiva Services, which is the reason for the subsidiary company is that Motiva we have a status of in-house status to the government, the ministries and the government authorities. Which means that they can buy our services without procurement or tendering. But that also limits our possibilities to work with the private sector. And Motiva Services is doing that at Motiva for the private sector. My topic is energy efficiency agreements, which is a voluntary scheme to improve energy efficiency in different sectors. And I have brought some brochures, an English brochure on energy efficiency agreements. The current period is they are at the end of the table up there, and then there's a short overview of the results, interim results from 2008 to 2012. It's bilingual, Finnish and English, so don't be afraid if you see the Finnish language there first. There's English text also. And the voluntary agreement scheme in Finland is probably one of the oldest in Europe. We started in 1997 with the energy conservation agreements, and it has been extended now, energy efficiency agreements, which run until 2016. They are voluntary and there's no legislative obligations to that, and it's a flexible tool to implement the energy and climate strategy. And the EU policies currently, Energy Efficiency Directive, also the European climate actions and renewables are part of those policies, which this scheme is assisting to. And there are several benefits for the companies and organizations that join agreements, because it's flexible and it's voluntary. They can actually plan their own activities to their needs, but it has to be target-oriented, of course, and systematic, because there's a reporting requirement for all those joining the scheme. And energy audits and energy efficiency investments are a crucial part of that, and there are subsidies, government subsidies for those, and for those joining the agreement, they usually get a higher percentage on the subsidies. And there's annual reporting, of course, for the action. And here's a picture of all the agreements which are running in Finland right now. There's an energy efficiency agreement for business sector, which is the maybe the largest and also the best results in that sector. Then there are agreement and also energy program for municipal sector, and I have a little more information on next slide on that. For oil sector, for transport sector, for the goods transport and logistics, and also for public transport. And the newest ones are energy efficiency agreement for property and building sector, and there's also the housing properties, which is the newest one. And also the Finnish farms, there's an energy program for the agricultural sector. And here's they seem to come out a little oddly on the screen, but I'm sure you can read it. But it's for the municipal sector, in the Stepprojectu, you talk about communities and how to improve the energy efficiency there, and that's the answer in Finland for the energy efficiency program for municipal sector. There are two types of, there's an agreement and program depending on the size of the municipality, and they could also be joint municipalities, so there are different alternatives. And there are also always certain parties to the agreement. There's a ministry responsible for each agreement, and this is the MEE, Ministry of Employment and Economy, which is the formerly it was the Ministry of Trade and Industry. And then there are municipalities, and then there is the operator, and Motiva is the operator in all the agreement schemes, which means that we monitor the process and we inform them, and also if there's training needed, we do the training, and also the reporting comes to us, and we follow the results. Very integral part of the agreement scheme is continuous improvement, and it's part of all the agreements, but especially in energy-intensive industry and energy sector. Energy efficiency management system has been developed to improve their possibilities to save energy. And this picture describes how it goes. There's an energy policy planning phase, of course, the implementation and execution. And there's always, because they have to report and there are checks and how they are doing, there's a management review then, but it doesn't stop there. You go again at the same cycle for better performance. A few obligations of a party joining the agreement. In energy-intensive industry and power production, there's the energy efficiency management system, and they have to set targets for their actions. They have to do energy audits and analysis to find out where they can improve their energy efficiency and what are the downfalls there. They have to make an energy conservation plan when they sign the agreement, and implementation of that is very crucial. There are investments, and in all the investments they do on the site or in the company or in the building, they have to consider energy efficiency as part of them. So it's not like a obsolete action. It's part of the whole process. And the follow-up system for energy consumption in the, well, whether it's an industrial plant or a building. And then there are like the soft measures. They have to train their employees on the energy efficiency, and so everybody understands the importance of that. Also, the internal and external communication is very important. And through training and communication also the commitment is improved. And annual reporting is very important, but we have developed an online internet-based reporting system which helps the parties joining the agreement, but also for us to monitor the process and get out the results from the system. And some benefits for joining the agreements, of course, there might be a lot more, but these are the main topics on benefits. Of course, improved energy efficiency and with that decrease of energy costs. And environmental impacts decrease at the same time, and for the energy audits and energy efficiency investments, they get higher subsidies from the government, which is, of course, helps and makes the process maybe quicker, and decision process is easier. And energy, for some plants or many plants, they need environmental permits, and the energy efficiency can be easily verified through the agreement monitoring and reporting system. And of course, the public image is important and gives a competitive edge to those joining the agreement. And how to establish a successful energy efficiency agreement scheme? There's this has been not done only in Finland, but there has been a European project on that also, and to find out what are the aspects and successes in different countries, and how to improve the process, and how to make it the best possible. And here, the key players and their responsibilities, lots of aspects there, but there's this authority. It's usually the ministry, which is a signing party of the agreement, and there are the national and EU aims and directives, and all these objectives we have to reach, and the development aspect, and also the financial incentives, which are very important, and the evaluation process. Every agreement is evaluated also, and all the actions are evaluated to find out the results. Then there's the sector association, whether it's the industrial association or municipal, which is a signing party there too. And they, like in the industrial sector, there's this framework agreement for the industry, and each sector has their own action plans. So there's a framework agreement, but also like individual action plans for the sectors, food industry or plastics industry, etc. There's a lot of marketing and motivation aspects, and guidance, training, and the reporting, of course, there again. And then there's the participant, the company, the municipality, the industrial plant, or transport company, and they have to set goals for their own company and what they are going to do, and also follow the energy consumption, and do the energy audits, and measure the results. Training, reporting, collaboration. And then there's this agency or operator. Motiva is the operator in Finland, and we monitor the system development and operation, how to do that. There's a database where all the agreements are integrated, and the data is classified. There's guidance and training for the parties and marketing and motivation. But also there are involved consultants, energy auditors, ESCOs, who are part of the whole scheme. And this European project, EU LTA, long-term agreement uptake project, this is a timeline or the whole concept how to do that, and what are the steps, and how long does it take in each phase in general. And as you can see, it takes a year and a half before you start the implementation. That's like average time. And then the time frame for the implementation, it depends how long agreement you sign. We have 5 years our agreements at the time, and so it could be, but we have also extended them, so now we have 17th year already. And according to that project, there are several countries involved. The Netherlands was the coordinator, if I remember rightly, but I think 7-8 countries or partners in the project. And good communication, that's very crucial. If you don't communicate with the authorities and with the associations and other actors, it's not going to work very well. And well, of course, honestly, you have to bring the facts on the table, so to help the starting point and implementation. The administration is quite simple, actually, or could be very simple. Low cost, better cost effectiveness, targets, and learning by doing also. It's because it's a continuous process. You learn when you do, and you can improve the process. And of course, the motivating targets are very important. Efficient monitoring and reporting, it's usually very scary. Of course, again, I have to report something, and it's difficult and all that, but it's very crucial, because you don't know what you achieve if you don't monitor and report, and you can improve your process. And also, it's you you know how you succeed. Support to participants is very important. All the parties need support, because if they don't have the knowledge or skills and experience on the process, and you can get the support from association or operator. Also, the financial support is very, very important. Marketing, advice tools, several tools for the process, best practices. When you learn what somebody else has done, maybe you can replicate it in your company. And development projects, because there are aspects which are not running or going so well, you can develop them as a side project for the agreement implementation. And it doesn't have to be brand new, something different you've never done before. It can be combining the existing activities, existing processes you are already doing, but you are just developing it for this purpose, and also maybe improving the effectiveness of your work. And what the project actually, if they have one slogan that the long-term agreement puts energy efficiency on the agenda, on the in the company or on industrial plant. So oftentimes it's not discussed that much or not known what you can achieve with better energy efficiency. But also the personal factors. You have to be inspired and innovative and enthusiastic to do that, and committed, of course. Then is expertise and communication skills are very, very important of the process and development. A few barriers and weaknesses which they found out on the process for the long-term agreements is the government policies. National government policies, they tend to change a little when the parliamentary elections take place. So the priorities may change, and also, new policies on European level and national level. And there might be uncertainties in target setting and also the cost effectiveness, how they work, and lack of knowledge and tools is probably one of the key barriers starting the process. And of course, limited resources in administration, but in the participating companies, but also there has to be the participating companies, they have to have somebody who is in charge and knowledgeable about that. And it's not only human resources, but also the financial resources that they are willing to take maybe a little risk, but also to improve the whole process. Confidentiality is one could be a risk. Heavy reporting, that comes out every time that reporting is something you kind of fear that it's too much work and difficult, but developing the reporting process also can help there quite a bit. There are some interim results here. I'm not going into those details, and I just show you a couple slides. Here, there's an empty slide. That what has been achieved in 2008-2012 within the Finnish industry with the agreements. The agreement scheme covers about 80% of the total use of energy in the Finnish industry, which is quite high, and the energy intensive industry covers almost 100% of the energy use. It includes also the industry within the emission trading scheme. Energy production, there's almost that could result also 95%. And in the small and medium-sized companies, it's a little lower, depending actually on the sector and the action plan, but it's 35 to 70 and increasing. And here are the industries, municipalities and property and building sector, the results what has been achieved at 2008-2012. Savings in heating energy and fuels, almost 6 terawatt-hours, electricity 2.25, and energy costs 344 million euros. And carbon dioxide emissions have been reduced by 2.5 million tons. And these savings equal to 2.1% of Finland's total energy consumption in 2012. But I'm sure that everybody gets these slides later on. There are more results, and you can find results also in this little poster if you like. And I go to the last slide so you can see the website. There's energy efficiency agreements.fi, where you can find information in English and also the results on the different sectors and periods. Thank you very much.